Fierce ladies, welcome to the Moms in Real Estate podcast, where we unleash our unapologetic power to share the raw truth of our journeys. Brace yourself for a dose of empowerment, education, and encouragement like never before. I'm Kristen, a relentless entrepreneur obsessed with connecting and uplifting fellow boss babes. In this podcast, we're all about getting down to business, conquering motherhood, nurturing relationships, and so much more. Get ready to dive into the nitty-gritty, embrace the hustle, and unravel the secrets of success in the world of real estate. We're here to ignite your fire, equip you with the knowledge, and unleash your limitless potential. Tune in as we redefine what it means to be a true boss babe. Hello, Moms in Real Estate. Today is such a special episode, and I'm so excited to introduce you guys to Tara Keator out of Arizona. It's special because not only will we talk about how she's become a top producer here in Arizona, but we're also going to dive into her health journey because it is a crazy one. And just months before we recorded this episode, she was actually in the hospital, almost died. And I really am excited for her to share her journey with you guys and how that crazy experience has really shaped how she's moving forward in her life and in her business. So let's get started. Hi, Tara.
Hi.
You guys, if only you were a fly on the wall before we went live, you would have thought me and Tara are absolutely nuts. We have like such a common like bond because we have like so many like medical issues that we could just go back and forth forever. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about your real estate journey. So tell us, like, why did you get into real estate, and tell us a little bit about you.
You know, it's funny how I got into real estate because I ran a wedding photography business for a couple of decades, and my husband owned a car dealership, and I hated him working there. He hated him working there, and I just one day was like, look, we can't do this anymore. We have too many kids at this point. We can't run both businesses, and you hate your job, so will you leave? And he said, yeah, I'll get in real estate if you do. And I was like, okay, well, my whole family's in real estate, like my parents.
So the idea came because he'd seen your family in it.
Okay. My whole family's in it, like aunts, uncles, brothers, parents, everybody. And he was like, why don't we just join them and do that? And I thought, well, I'll do anything with family. Like, it's like my jam. And so he left his job, sold his shares and everything because we wanted nothing to do with it. And then got into real estate and then, you know, kept having more kids. And I do more of the forefront of the business. And he's like holds down the fort and handles things in the background.
Do you still do photography?
I do, as like it's kind of like my stress release. Yeah. I only do it for that. I don't market it. I took my website down, all that stuff. But like if I have people ask me or refer me, I'll do it because it really is like a mindless stress release thing. I will love it till the day I die.
Did you, when your husband quit his job, you guys dove into real estate, did you continue to do photography in the beginning to at least like get some income and, you know, make sure you guys were like good before you left?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you know, when you have a lot of kids, it takes a lot of money. Yeah. So we definitely made a transition there. I still shot weddings for a little while, but like being pregnant and shooting weddings was always hard on my body.
Oh, yeah.
So just 8 hours, you know, a lot of people, I remember one time they said, it's not that hard. I'm like, no, really, it is like so physically taxing on your body.
Oh, yeah.
And the next day you have like this wedding day hangover, what we would call it, because you literally feel like you drank yourself silly the night before because your body hurts so much. So, but I continued doing like family sessions and businesses and things like that because they were shorter.
I love that. So tell me a little bit about like you jump into real estate, your family's in it. How did that look in the beginning for you?
I mean, for me personally, it felt really messy.
Yeah.
Because one, I don't really love to read or learn things. I like to just kind of like experience them and as I go. And but like real estate's a different bag there. You have to learn all the logistics and like legal stuff and stuff like that. So when it actually took me a couple of times to pass the test, and I remember my dad even said, I was a little worried you weren't going to pass the test because I'm not a test taker. Like,
it was a hard test.
It was a hard test, but you know, I figured out how to study and got it down and got my license and whatever. But it was great because I had my family. Yeah. I had anyone that I could call on that wouldn't think that I was an idiot if I had a stupid question or like whatever, which I know that everyone in the industry is actually really great and no one thinks you're stupid. Mm-hmm. But it was really awesome because I could call my parents and be like, hey, how do I do this? Oddly, none of us are, me, my brothers, no one's in the same broker like at all. Everyone's at different ones. I was with the same one with my parents for a little while, but it was old news, like in my opinion.
Yeah.
We won't name names, but like they weren't leading in technology and stuff like that. So I kind of went somewhere else. They were kind of stuck there and didn't want to.
Is everyone still in real estate?
Yes.
Oh, that is crazy.
Yeah,
all in Arizona.
Yes.
Oh, that's great. That is so rare because I feel like usually like almost the kids feel like they have to go where their parents go.
Oh, yeah. No, it was a little weird at first. Like they were like, whoa, well, I did go where they were for like a hot second.
Yeah.
And then I left and it was a little like, it's nothing against you, no hard feelings or whatever, but it's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Oh, that's great. So how long have you been in real estate now?
Gosh, numbers. I hate numbers.
I know, me too.
I want to say I've been solidly full-time for 8 years.
Yeah.
Almost 9.
Okay.
Yeah. But I was in escrow while I was shooting weddings when I was 18. So I was kind of dabbling in real estate.
You knew a little bit.
I knew a little bit.
Yeah. Where does most of your business come from?
Referrals, 100%.
Yeah.
I've said I think we're 100% referral-based business. And people are like, that's a joke. That's not possible. But just until this last year, I don't think we got any random strangers off of anything, which is a little interesting. But yeah, I would say literally 99% referral based business.
Oh, we're going to dive all into that because you have a really great business. And I know that that's not just like, you just like getting referrals. There is intentionality behind it.
Yeah.
And I'm sure in the beginning it was probably messy trying to figure it out. But what does that look like today? How are you staying top of mind to everybody that you're meeting?
It's totally social media.
Yeah.
I'm so thankful for social media because a lot of people go to BNI groups and things like that. I can't do that.
Yeah.
With 8 kids, sure, I could time block. I'm really great at time blocking, but I don't want to time block my time for BNI group or those kind of things. I've learned to be a relationship realtor.
Yeah.
And it is all about nurturing my relationships, and they are the ones that speak for me.
Yes.
So that's kind of what that looks like. I use social media so heavy. When I feel bad that I'm not able to get out and do all these things, I remember that that's what my social media is for in this season of my life with 8 kids, because I can get on and create a whole bunch of garbage, at 8 to midnight, without my kids hanging around and whatever. And so social media is really how I stay top of mind that way.
We are really lucky to have social media. Yeah. I think about that all the time. And because you can do so much from you're saying, your bed, everybody's asleep and it's hey, I have time to actually do this. Where it's if you had a business that was reliant on door knocking, you couldn't do that then,
I grumble. I would never want a door knock or cold call because I don't want to be door knocked or cold called. So I don't want to do that.
It is the worst.
It is the worst.
Did you ever do open houses?
I have done some open houses, and sometimes I'll do that when I really need a quiet office space because open houses anymore, it's hit and miss. Sometimes it's totally quiet. And so I actually have been challenged by my business coach to actually do a handful of open houses in the next 10 weeks. And I'm I haven't really done that for a long time, but I will be. And if no one comes, I'll use it as my office and create more content.
Totally.
And
there's always something you can do during an open house. Yes. Yeah. So do you have, let's dive into a little bit more social media and then I want to go back to your coach. Do you have a social media strategy or are you I just show up all the time?
I just show up all the time.
I knew you were going to say that. Okay. And so what kind of stuff do you share on there?
Everything.
Yeah.
Because someone once said, you're on social media, you're creating your real estate business or whatever, but not everyone that's watching you right now has any interest.
Yeah.
There's so many that are I'm not going to buy or sell anytime soon. They don't really give two hoo-haws about, my real estate business. So I learned that staying connected in many other ways. And so I just share what I'm involved in life and people connect to it. So just the last year being sick, the last several years, but the last year really being highlighted with my illness, that is something that has kept people connected.
Oh, yeah.
I actually had someone that started watching my journey about a year ago and they contacted me saying they were moving to Arizona and they want a realtor. And it's they just started watching me a year ago from showing all of my health stuff.
Yeah.
So I share health stuff, I share kids stuff, and then just stupid whatever is happening in my life that day.
Yeah.
And that's it.
I think that's great. I think so many people overcomplicate social media. They're I've got to have my pillars. And if you have no idea what to do, the pillars are helpful. If you're I don't know what kind of content to create, but I think that what you've done is you've made it habitual. It's just part of your day. It's part of your life. And it's working because people do business with people they like and trust and they connect with. And you're sitting there giving them all these reasons to connect with you and to like you and to relate with you. So especially sharing your health journey is probably scary. You're oh my gosh, I'm a realtor. I'm going to share my health stuff. This doesn't go hand in hand. But it really allows these other people to come in and see you for who you are. And it allows them to feel comfortable reaching out to you.
Yeah, I was actually really scared to share when I got really, really sick.
Yeah.
I was afraid that people would be like, Tara's too sick. We're not going to use her anymore. I was going to ask you that. Like,
yeah.
it was a really big fear of mine because I am the breadwinner. You know, I'm the one that brings the clients in, but my husband doesn't have clients. Like, he's not that part of the business. And so I thought, God, if I start sharing that I am this ill, like I was actually bedridden for 2 months.
Yeah.
But I was afraid to tell anyone. They would be like, Tara's not going to be able to handle this and like whatever. And I do have a team that like we plowed through. Like when I was on my deathbed, we had 13 closings.
Yeah.
And
you are like, it is insane. So tell everyone if they're like, what the heck happened to you? Tell them what happened.
Oh yeah. So I ended up having a tumor on my adrenal gland and I had no idea that like, you know, they say, oh, stress and cortisol. Like I didn't realize how big of a deal that was until I started dying basically. But the tumor on my adrenal gland directly caused Cushing's disease. And that just took my body down. Like I was gaining weight in weird places. I had stretch marks. My skin was deteriorating. Like I could sneeze at it and it would just cut a bloody leak. And it was so scary.
So scary.
And, but so basically once I got the tumor out and met the right doctor, my body just started functioning again. My hair started growing back. So it was just a really long battle with not knowing what was going on. Like I didn't.
Well, and tell everyone what ended up causing you to like figure it out.
Hi, it's Barbara with your tax coach, and we love helping entrepreneurs save money on their taxes. Here's a quick tax tip. Improvements to your property, whether it's your personal residence or an investment property, helps increase what's called your basis, and it will help you pay less in taxes when you sell the property. So don't forget to always improve your properties. For more info, follow us on Instagram at Your Tax Coach or go to our website, yourtaxcoach.com.
Oh, so like, I think it was like 3.5 years ago, I had a tooth break and it was one that had like a mercury filling in it. And all of a sudden my feet started to hurt really bad. I started getting neuropathy from that. And we just searched for years, like what is going on? My legs started getting heavy. So it felt like I had like cement in my legs. I couldn't walk anymore. We talked about even changing my truck so that I could drive it and get into it and like have a wheelchair. Like we were really going down that road because I couldn't even walk at some points.
That is so
But we went through
scary.
so many different things. Like I went through a vein procedure like over and over, like where they went in and like killed my veins thinking, oh, something's wrong with her circulation or something like that. And that helped like maybe 4 or 5%, but that was it. And then it wasn't until I actually met with my old OB and she wanted to have lunch with me. And I just told her like, hey, and this is one of the first symptoms is I haven't had my period for like 700 and some days. And she was like, she just straight up told me, I think you have cancer. And I was like, really? You're going to do me like that? Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
You know?
When a doctor says that to you, you're like,
and I wasn't
what?
even being examined. Like we were having lunch.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow. So I kept it to myself for a couple of months. And
you kept that to yourself?
I kept it to myself. I was like, I'm not ready to head this face on. Like, what if I do?
Yeah.
And so I finally went and I didn't tell anyone, didn't tell my husband, didn't tell my mom, like nobody. So then I went to my doctor and I said, hey, look, we need to check something out. Like you keep trying to fix me and nothing's happening. Nothing's getting better. Like, you know, when you go to the doctor and like, let's do your blood work.
Yeah.
Oh, everything looks fine. It's just this and that. It's like, I'm so tired of hearing that.
So tired.
And, so they went to go do a scan on my pelvic area thinking maybe I had some sort of uterine cancer. And they actually got just high enough that they saw the tumor on my adrenal gland.
Wow.
It was just, you know, God or whatever, you know, like it was just like, wow, how did that happen? And so then they tested me for Cushing's disease and it was like, I had every symptom of Cushing's disease down to the rarest ones.
Wow.
Like there's even one I don't even know.
I've never
the
even
name.
heard of it.
Yeah, it's crazy. They have one and I don't know the name. Your eyes actually bulge out of your head.
Yeah.
And my eyes were actually bulging out of my head.
Oh my gosh.
Like lost my hair, my skin looked
Had you told your doctor about your tooth and were they like, it doesn't like,
Yeah.
but you always knew like there's something to this tooth.
Yeah. And luckily I see naturopaths and they do see some connections in there. So she's the one that actually recommended me to go see a biological dentist.
Oh.
And so I went to a biological dentist, which is a totally different type of dentist where, you know, like if you were to get your mercury fillings out, they have an actual machine that is supposed to suck out the toxins coming out from your mercury fillings.
Wow.
Like they're just very specific on that, how like your body is connected to your teeth.
Yeah.
And so, we just started pulling out all my mercury fillings and I still have a couple root canals that have like a metal lining in there. Why, I have no idea. They don't know either, but I have to get those out still. But we found the culprit, you know, got the tumor out. And like I said, we thought that was going to be a cure-all.
Yeah.
But it wasn't until I actually started seeing this new miraculous doctor that like changed everything. Like I'm talking to people in a recovery group for Cushing's and they're like 12 months out and they're still suffering.
Dang.
Like I'm so blessed to be 5-6 months out and to have been renewed so much.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy.
It is actually your whole story is just so wild, and I just feel like it's got to be so inspiring if somebody's listening and they're feeling like, oh my gosh, there's no hope. There is hope. Like this journey is hard, and I know what it's like to have no answers. So I'm so happy because you look so good and like vibrant and like just crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. Even my dad, we don't see him as often. They moved a little bit farther away and he came over. And, you know, my dad doesn't share his emotions very much. And when I was sick, like I didn't actually see him as much as I thought I would have. Mm-hmm. And when I walked in the room, he came, gave me the biggest hug ever, like didn't let go. When he pulled away, he was just crying. Mm-hmm. And he was like, Tara, I really thought every time I left you, I thought, that was it. I wasn't going to see you again. Like I thought you were for sure going to die that night, like whatever. And he said, now I look at you. He said, I legit feel like you're 15 years younger. Like you skip back 15 years, not 5, not 10. He said, literally 15 years. That's how good you look right now.
Well, and so let's put that in perspective. Like you almost die and you're, probably have so many thoughts going through like what your life looks like. You have, what did we say, 48 kids earlier?
Yeah. It feels like it sometimes.
She has 8 kids. She was pregnant or breastfeeding for 16 years.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
And I'm sure that just like, when you're going through something like that, you're looking at your life and you're probably reflecting on your business and everything that you're doing. Has anything changed in your business like now that you're feeling good and you are where you're at?
It's interesting that you asked that because like I do feel like I kind of wish everybody would go through like an experience where they almost die.
Yeah.
And I don't because, it was misery.
Horrible.
But at the same time, like I have a new perspective on things. And even though, everyone talks about, you got to have balance with your kids. I feel like that's just nothing. You're not going to ever have balance, but you can flow with life a little bit better.
That's exactly how I describe it.
Yeah. You have to flow. And so I feel like it has taken a lot of pressure off of me personally, where before I'd be like, I have to this, I have to that, and I got to make sure. And I would brush kids off. Like, no, I'm in the middle of this. And, I could tell that like even my temperament was real rough there towards the end. And it has changed that completely.
Wow.
Like I just realized that like not a moment of frustration or anger is really worth it. Like, wow. Like when I'm laying on my deathbed, I think how many minutes did I spend stupidly frustrated with my kids because I didn't have my act together.
Yeah.
And it's really changed that a lot. And like it's even changed my parenting a lot. So like before, as a parent, you do freaking yell sometimes. And like I would yell and be frustrated and I would carry this frustration on my shoulder. And so like later in the day, I'd be like, dude, and it was just left over from before. And that is gone.
Oh, that's
like,
great.
It's so great. I can be calm about almost everything with my kids now.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to waste a minute being angry over stupid crap.
Over something that can probably wait. I think in real estate, so much is so immediate. And we're like, why do we need a response so quick?
Yeah.
And I get it. I mean, I have it to where if my phone is ding, 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 like if I forget to put it on silent and I leave it over there and I'm at the dinner table, it's going off, my anxiety level is next level. It's like, you've got to shut that thing off.
Yeah. I used to actually hide it upstairs in like my underwear drawer because you could hear it vibrate on a desk through the floor.
Yeah.
And at one point I did actually get a secondary phone because I needed a phone for my kids.
Yeah.
But like I mean, my phone's just blowing up like you all the time, and I'm an instant responder.
Yeah.
Even my life coach, she said, Tara, if you get a text, put your phone down for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Don't be an instant responder anymore. And I used to think it was such a benefit, like be an instant responder.
Yeah,
everybody
people
knows
love
I'm right
that.
there.
Yeah.
But she said, no, for your sake. Don't answer any question. I have a saying now that says, I need 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And I tell my kids that. I tell my clients like, hey, I'm not responding immediately because my answer is always different in 5 minutes.
Yeah. Well, we actually literally just had a whole class here before you got here. And my friend Matt, he's a football coach of 20 years. And he brought up the fact that if you're mad after a game, you do not get to talk about it for 24 hours. I've learned this in kids sports too, through parents and everything. And I'm like, we should actually really think about that in all aspects of our life. Like give it 24 hours, because if you immediately react to something that happens, it's just, it doesn't give you the proper response.
Yeah, no, 100%. It's funny that you say that, because I always say, like, when I'm having a really rough day and it's like one response after another that I'm not happy with, I think, wait till tomorrow.
Yeah.
Don't say a word to anyone until tomorrow, and tomorrow is always different.
And don't apologize. If somebody texts you and it's not an emergency and you text them back 5 hours later and you're like, so sorry it took so long. Like, it's okay. They didn't need you to respond right then. I'm trying to like totally reframe my brain. So I'm glad we're talking about this.
Yeah, I feel that.
I love all of this. So tell me, like, what do you feel like is next for you? Because like you're feeling better. You've got obviously an amazing real estate business. You've got a team. I also have to tell you guys, like when she was going through all this, I did not know the extent of it. And she also called me and decided to move brokerages while she was closing 13 deals while she was on her deathbed. I did not understand the extent of it. So you are wild.
Yeah.
So tell me, what's next for you and your husband and your business and your team and all the things?
You know, it's funny. I feel like this is going to be like a whole new year. Like everything's going to be different because like I had said before, my husband kind of stepped out of the business a little bit and kind of handled the household. He's the introvert. I'm the extrovert.
Yeah.
So it always worked out for me to be out in the field with everybody. But now our youngest is 4, almost 5, and he will be going to school full time. And we're talking about that exact thing. Like, what are we going to do now?
Yeah.
I have actually been told like 100 times that I should start my own podcast.
I'll help you.
I would love some help. But like I at first thought, who the hell is going to listen to me? Like
I will.
Like all the time though. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like I hate to say this, I'm not a podcast listener. I don't watch YouTube. Like I'm not that person. Like I'm just always just doing things for my people. And so I think, gosh, if people want to look at me like, what the hell is Tara doing? Like what? But like I do have things to say, and I'm realizing that people are listening. Like the whole health journey thing. I have actually had like 8 phone calls from people saying I'm sick.
Yeah.
And I feel like I have all the things that you said, and 2 people have had it. 2 people.
That's
one
crazy.
of them, their son had it. Like, and it's amazing that like my sharing has brought that. So I do feel like the next thing is one, bringing my husband back into the business so that we could kind of be together, but also starting a podcast.
Yeah.
And just like I'm always trying to get more into systems and things like that. So I just feel like now that I'm not sick, like it's just going to look totally different than it has the last couple of years.
Yeah.
So, but I think the podcast might be like the biggest thing because it's so new, so different, and whatever. But
well, and I think everyone listening needs to like hear this. So, you know, you are super successful. You have a super empowering story. A lot of people might not even have anything close to that, and you're still questioning who's going to listen to me.
Yeah.
And I think that we all have that like annoying little, you know, person that's just like whispering in our ear all the negative things. And I will tell you, when I started this podcast 9 years ago, I didn't know anything about real estate, you guys. Like literally, I just was like, how can I get around other moms? I had a newborn. And so it was like, okay, like I need to figure out like a connecting piece. And so I thought, why don't I just create a platform where people can share their stories? And it's, you know, 9 years later, it's like one of the favorite things that I do. But again, like who was I? I was nobody. But it's okay because you just have to like say, I don't care. There's so many people. There's so many people in the world that people do listen to podcasts.
Yeah.
And they're going to listen to your story. And I think that that's cool because all of a sudden, like now you have this story that can help these other 8 people that could turn into so many more people. Yeah. And, you know, the Bible says that we should find the joy in the pain. I always think about that. And I'm like, there is always joy in the pain. And like, that's your joy is like all of a sudden you're coming out of this and you're able to help people. Yeah.
There was so much joy when I was really, really ill. Like God showed up so many ways, so many times, so obviously that like, I am actually thankful that I went through that. I mean, it was the absolute most hell on earth I've ever experienced, but like, it was actually pretty amazing all at the same time.
Yeah. So yeah, that's such an empowering story. Well, I have a question I like to ask everybody when we wrap up the podcast, and I did not tell you beforehand. Okay. So if you had to go into business with any influencer or celebrity, who would it be?
Oh, shoot. Gosh, you know, it's hard to answer that question because, and this is sound lame, I don't watch anything. I don't listen to anything, like, you know, whatever. So I don't know. I think I would just find someone that like makes a big difference. And to be honest, I've actually thought it would be fun to get into business with you.
Ooh.
So, but like, I don't, you're like, but you have that like same everything. You just carry that joy, that like helping people, connecting people. And that's like my jam. So like, but you're the only person that I really, really follow.
Oh, I love you.
So that's the best I can get.
I can't believe I love that. That's so cool. Well, you guys, maybe something you'll see me and Tara doing together in the future. Well, awesome. Thank you so much for sharing your story. And if people want to follow you on your social media while you're sharing all the things, where do they follow you?
Instagram at Tara the Realtor is usually where I'm at most of the time.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being on.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Hi, it's Kim
and Whitney
from Real Social Agent, and we love helping real estate professionals create social media content that helps them grow their business.
If you're a real estate professional looking to save time and create more effective content, we're about to make your life so much better.
You're amazing at what you do, and we're here to make sure everyone else knows that. From social media coaching to custom content creation, our job is to make you shine.
Follow us on Instagram at Real Social Agent or download our free Reels 101 library at the link in the show notes.
Thanks, friend, for listening to the podcast. We love having you in our community. If you enjoyed our podcast, please leave us a review or share it with a friend. Also, we'd love to connect with you on Instagram. Go follow us at Moms in Real Estate.